Bruna and Jamerson set their wedding date by faith. Their resources were scarce, and they built their house at the back of her parents' property.
We built the house here, and then we set the wedding date.
At the beginning, we didn't have much money, you know.
In 11 months, we had to hurry to pay for everything, and God honored every dream that we had.
The wedding was just perfect. We got married on May 11th, 2013.
After being married for 1 year, Jamerson suffered a serious accident at work.
I work at a factory and I was opening a barrel that contains chemical products, you know. When I opened the barrel, there was an explosion and my face was burned, my arms and my neck as well. In fact, 25% of my body was burned.
The burnings in a human body are classified in 3 degrees, depending on the human anatomy, in terms of skin, epidermis, and subcutaneous. How are burns classified? They're classified using percentages. Plastic surgeons use a technique in which 5% equates to the palm of one hand. If 25% of the body was burned, you know the extent, because it's equivalent to 5 times the palm of one hand.
And then I had to be transferred to a specialty hospital because the seriousness of the burn was too great.
It's difficult to find a bed at a hospital like that, but Jamerson managed to get one in a few hours.
My medication was morphine because I had too much pain.
Then the burns were being washed.
I was in the hospital for 5 days. Then the doctors told me that I would end up with a lot of scars.
His face was too dark. There was a mark left by the protection goggles he was wearing at the time.
Until then, they are second-degree burns. But the doctor said that they can actually get much worse now.
Second-degree burns cause those blisters, but the third-degree burns usually require immediate skin grafts, which means removing from an area and using it to cover the lost one.
The doctors told me that I would need skin graft. When I came back home, I treated my skin with sunflower oil that I bought in the supermarket.
Bandages are needed, and usually you can use an ointment, sunflower seed oil, which is excellent for the scars.
Next day, my pastor came to visit me, you know, and I showed him the oil that I was using. And since he's always used by God, he grabbed that oil and while praying, he asked God for him to transform that oil into a holy medicine.
The oil was applied in the arms too, in his neck and on his face. After around 20 days, his arms were healed. The doctor who had been putting on his bandages were marveled because the treatment that would take from 18 to 24 months, within 2 months at most, his skin was completely restored.
Although he sustained serious burns, eventually, with a correct treatment, he managed to overcome it. It was really great.
In July, I was released from the hospital, and at the end of July, I underwent a medical inspection.
And he took some pictures. The doctor who examined him said, actually, this recovery is unbelievable.
And then I was released. At the beginning of August, I had gone back to work without any scars, without any spots.
I can say that my husband received a miracle. The doctors recognized it, and it happened in 2014, and in 2016, we received such a blessing that the Bible says about tithing. I received a calling to become a sponsor, and after that, God blessed us with our apartment.
Today, we own an apartment.
It was a complete blessing.
God, He has done many great things in our life.
God has done wonders in our life, financially, and miracles that show us the blessings of God.